everyone. We are Electrical Badge. Now we are conducting our next TPO activity. That is, startups are better than the jobs. So we continue.
So I think startups we cannot compare exactly in the current scenario, but as we see in the last few data, the startups are better than the jobs because once you want to start a startup or business to as an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur can make anyone any field. So government are providing them different funding or different policies. There are number of things that are which is helps us, which are related to economy that government fully support it. So if we start a startup, we can take a loan with a low interest, and there are number of scheme as well. So if startup that create a job employment, so I think which is better than jobs. I think that one point that is monetarily government is pushing people to get into the entrepreneurship and all that of aspect, but uh, that is not only the thing that we have to focus on, because the another aspect that job profile gives the person is the exposure. When he is in a corporate, he is dealing with the people and he comes to know what is an organization structure basically becomes if your organization in future, if you are growth. So basically, you have to hire people and you have to structure your organization. For that particular aspect, person indeed have to start a career as a job. After gaining exposure, he can might enter into entrepreneurship, and there are other aspects too, how to deal with the people and what are the banking related operations that day to day their company have to undergo. So all these things, job profile and varied domain for a person to get knowledge about it, and once he gain the cusp about it, he can enter into entrepreneurship. So your point is basically he firstly want knowledge. Yes. He know about the how to start yes. Entrepreneurship. But government are also pushing to entrepreneurs. They are providing training as well. Like in the teaching field or in the different curriculums, subjects are added like entrepreneurship development, which makes them in the how which are the qualities an entrepreneur should have. So these are helps to start as a startup without taking an as an experience as a job or as an employer. So I disagree with the point, because what we learn physically and in comparison to what we learn it from a conceptual basis, like that you mentioned that it is included at a past as a part of curriculum. I think that physically getting on-hand experience from the job is much more experienced, is much more knowledgeable in that context.
And I agree with your point. Maybe some people are made from the startups. They are capable of pressure handling. But some of people are means they need a secure and stable job for their family responsibility, for their long-term family responsibility, and they cannot handle an hectic pressure or financial burden to meet their monthly expenses, family responsibilities. In my opinion, some of people may choose job over the startups due to their financial condition or their passion. After gaining some knowledge in ground level knowledge in a job field, they may enter startup field laterly. Depends individual. Yes, you said to financial is important to the go to the startups, but governments are also provided to the financial support to the who has go to the startup field. Whenever people are go to the startups, it is know to the how to problems are problems are coming, and it is solving and solve, and it is improve to the confidence, and it is helps to the increases our business. As you say, the person should start the his job first, and after the experience, he should start focusing on what we say that you income. Start. As you say, the persons to start the its career from choosing the jobs. After its gain experience, he should focus on the startups. So as in India, many companies are removing or partition the jobs which are not those persons who are not skills in the that particular area. So that persons should choose the startups also.
as we, our government are helps to those persons who choose to start startups.
I'm also completely agree with his points because once you have to start a business, you know about how to start it. You, as you say, he need experience. But if you start, you should have confidence. You should have financial assistance. You may start the jobs, but if you start the startups at the basic level, you can hire the people, which creates already job employment. Because as we see the current scenarios about job safety or job security, because there are number of government jobs of reduces and government not hiring the government employees. So people are getting jobs in companies or private jobs, but they don't have any kind of job safety or job security because they fired. As we take an example of TCS, they every year they fired some employees.
What kind of company should propose to them, to those persons who does not have any skills in that particular area? So company should not take responsibility of those persons. The company should fire those persons. And
It is startup is it is helps to the unemployment because of the he's saying to the Tata will be fired the past year he will be fired to the uh, people and it is the unemployment and it is will be financial will be down, so startup will be helps to the increase the financially.
Okay, then I would like to ask you all a question. That is, what about the stress and pressure or risk of uh, financial condition?
risk is taken in both fields, as jobs also and as startups also.
I
Because
think
what
that financial aspect that he mentioned, obviously, if you are starting any startup and that too into the competitive market like India, it is very much difficult for a startup to gain that much exposure into India market and to capture the people in the Indian market. So most of the startup that start in India does not succeed. At the end, they collapses, and because of which the capital investment that the investor makes, which is a sole proprietor in the initial case for the startup, they lose their money into this startup. So I think that first of all, getting into very much problem into the situation, into the society, identifying them is important, and after that the execution part is very much important, and that execution comes from experience. That execution part can be only be executed well if he or she has experience, and for that purpose I think that job is a better role. It can be a managerial role, or it can be a role from the very grassroots level into an institution or various field of industry. So I think that getting experience and getting knowledge about what industry demands, because when you are into the industry, when you are into the job, you get what currently market is demanding, because you get exposure to all the paperwork, all the data into an industry regarding that particular sector, and you know what people are demanding.
But as relates you, that's if we looking at the base level, that is the things we needed or to start the startups or going into the job sector. But the fact is, if we looking that point, we are justly developing our personally or individual level. But as we see, startups are helps to directly to country development, which is the economic development as well. So that I want to mention it. Startups, if you able to take a risk, if you able to handle the pressure situations, if you handle the financial condition as well, so you can start the startups
yes,
to create a jobs.
yes, only those people can handle the startup. But some people are not able to handle the stage. They can do the job because if they get tired, sometimes they can be join another company also, even another. So their growth will not be stopping a job also. That's all.
So I heard the conversation on the both sides, on the job side, on the startup side. So totally, I will conclude this topic as this is impossible to find out which side is better, which side is higher, which side is lower. But this topic is on a personal basis or individual basis, who can handle stress, who can handle financial stress, who have better managerial skill as a business, and one who want a secure financial side, secure life for their family. So those people will choose the job side, and those who want some thrill, those who want to take some risk and go on a very higher scale to improve their financial stability, those will take a business. And as my personal opinion, I will on the side of a startup, because getting a startup means you create employment, so you make opportunities on local basis. So those who want the jobs on the village area or at near home, so they get job at their native place. And once you start a business, your next generation will continue that business from that point. If you take the point of view of a job, then job, you cannot give legacy of a job to your next generation. So that is a very big point of a business. So that point is a very